So this is... Oh. There's the moon. Hey, so hello. So this YouTube thing has been pretty challenging. It feels like I've been spinning my wheels a bit, like rather unstrategically making videos, trying to reach an audience. And the thing that's been killing me is this expectation of, that I guess I'm putting on myself, but trying to be like the professional, sharing like information as if it's like the truth. And what's been happening there is I've been thinking about what I would like, or like arguments that I'm trying to make to myself, and then I build a video around it. So it's like how to be more creative is something I'm gonna convince myself of. It's like, well, I would like to do more creative things, so how do you do that? I've thought through that logically, and then I make a video, like with the expectation that I would build an audience of creative people who want to learn these things, and one day I might, I don't know, build a course or build a template, or I sell you something. And what I'm coming to is like separating my expectation of like business ventures. I should just return to like the ways of making money that I know and have worked for me, and just explore my creative side and just document that. And a big part of documenting this creative pursuit comes down to lifestyle design. Like, I want to make a life where I've got more freedom to pursue these creative things. Like last year I made an album. I would like to make another album. I've got this painting that I'm going to start right now. And I'd like to do, more of these things. So how do you balance, or how do you create a life where you like honestly pursue your creative things? Not because you're hoping the YouTube channel will make some money, but just because it's an interesting thing to do, like some creatively fulfilling adventure. So I think that comes down to lifestyle design. How do you design a life where you do these creative things that are fulfilling? And that lifestyle design includes like, how do you make income? How do you balance your time? How do you do other things like keep healthy, eat good food, those sort of things? And that's what I'm going to be, I guess, exploring in this video. Lifestyle design for the more creatively inclined. Okay, so in fairness, there's not much yet. It's sort of just background. It started as a very colorful thing, and now it's blue. I just like washed it with blue, and now I need to paint it. What it's going to be is a whale. I've got an idea of what that whale is going to be, so now we're going to draw it on. So what I've realized is this whole YouTube thingy is where it came from was I was in a job that felt creatively unfulfilling, but that job did pay good money, and I felt like I needed to bring that creative thing into the money-making thing. And what I realize now is, what I think maybe is a better approach is simply to design a life where I have the best of both. Like, I don't need to make money off creating creative things, off the art, off the music, off the videos. It's Monday morning. I've booked off between 10 and 12 to add this whale to this painting. And it's just making priorities, like deciding on rules and getting on with these creatively fulfilling things in a way that I don't feel guilty about giving up the business thing, or like this isn't a waste of time. It's like an important piece of who I am and how I spend my time. And therein lies the question: how does one spend their time? And to me, that's lifestyle design. Like, you design how your life is, or how your life style is, which is like, it's an exciting prospect. I think we too often are like, lives are designed for us. So I've done my arts and crafts activity. The question is like, if I had that time and space right now, like, what would my life look like? So I've got these 5 days now, and the question is like, how do we fill them? I've got rules. Let me quickly walk you through the 4 rules. The first is 8.5 hours of sleep, and to achieve that, I'm in bed for 9 hours. So that's in bed at 9 o'clock, which is waking up at 6 o'clock or whenever. I don't set an alarm, and that's just how that is. Luckily, my wife is up for that much sleep too. Then the next priority is exercise, and this is actually an order of priority. So yeah, planning my days around my exercise routines as opposed to like squeezing exercise in and around like work and life. So exercise is the second most important thing I'll be structuring my time around. And then the third thing is this idea of creating. I think that like with all the time in the world, I would just make more stuff. And I look forward this week to really making that stuff and not worrying about building a business or the YouTube channel or whatever it is. I mean, I'm documenting, but I'm just making stuff. That's the point. With all the time in the world, I think I'd make. And I've never really tested that theory, so that's what we're up to this week. And then the last priority is relationships, which I'm not going to film, but just know that I'm prioritizing time with the lovely wife. And all of these things need to be sustainable. And that's, I guess, the long-term goal, is like freedom of time to do these things in this order, but in a way that's sustainable. So that means sustainable, like financially it's sustainable. If you can just make stuff and someone pays you for it, great, like fantastic. If I could just create and then we're paid. I mean, that's not the reality right now. But the goal is like these things need to be sustainable. So there's sustainable financially, there's sustainable in terms of energy, that like I don't sink time and effort into things and just lead into another scenario of burnout like I did with my previous job and why I'm here doing YouTube and creating stuff. And then yeah, like sustainability, and also in terms of your energy and your psychology, like just to make sure you can like maintain your life you're building for yourself. Like, can you build the healthy habits around it? Okay, so I spent the morning doing the painting. I spent about 3 hours on it, and it's coming along. I'm not sure it's done. And then I made some lunch and I sent some LinkedIn messages to see if I could find some potential strategy consulting stuff. Just got some feelers out to see what's happening. And now I've driven down to the beach, where I do some push-ups, some pull-ups, because it's a Monday. So that is where I do the gymming on the beach. There are these poles. And I do a push day and a pull day, which just means like essentially back and biceps one day and chest and triceps another day. So it's 2 days a week of strength stuff. Anyway, so that's what it looks like. The push-ups and pull-ups done. I enjoy free exercise, so it's nice to do calisthenics, and coming down to the beach is good, just a good way to get outside the house. I think if I didn't do exercise, I wouldn't leave the house as much, so there's a bit of a double edge there. Obviously exercise is good, but leaving the house is good too. So key to the lifestyle design, and I like sort of plopping it in the middle of the day, or not to plan exercise around whatever you're doing, but plan around whatever you're doing around your exercise. Like free exercise is good exercise, so running, calisthenics on the beach, public workout spaces. But the other benefit of it is you meet some really cool people, and in public workspaces, I think people are more friendly and generous compared to gyms. I just met a really cool, really strong guy on the beach, and he was doing some pretty advanced stuff. I was just doing pull-ups. He was doing all sorts, but it was cool to get like inspiration and make a new friend. So that's the benefit of public workout spots. There's a place where I go. It's coffee time again. I took a call. I chat to a psychologist every 2 weeks, and I like to go down and walk on the beach. In general, I find that taking calls, even if it's with family or if it's about work or if it's with the psychologist, I get quite quickly like Zoom fatigued if it's video based calling. So just to pop earphones in, no video, and walk seems to keep my sanity. But I'll do like video based calls, but anything more than an hour or 2 hours, I genuinely like, it kills me. My energy drops significantly. Anyway, so I've done some calls. I did another call, this one on video, with a London-based like or not colleague, but someone I know who's working in design strategy for startups, and I had a chat with him to see what he's up to, and he's starting something that sounds interesting, which I may get a little bit involved in. I'll just play it by ear. And then in an hour's time, I have a call with someone else who wants to start a YouTube channel, and I offered some advice. We'll see if I can give good advice or advice at all. Anyway, all advice is probably useful, and then you take or leave whatever is not. That's what I have to say about giving advice. And then this, my friends, is a decaffeinated coffee, because I already had one normal coffee. Okay, I've been editing, but I just got the message. Friend is here, which means we're going paddling, which is the best time of the day. Quickly, I can tell you about the sport. So there are these long kayaks. Cut to a shot of the kayaks. And the kayaks are 6 meters long, and they have a little rudder in the back and pedals in front to steer the rudder. And the point of the sport is to get onto the ocean swells. So you obviously have to be pretty strong at paddling, but once you get onto a swell, you can ride that swell for a bit until the swell runs away from you. And if you put the wind behind you, it sort of pushes you along. So it's even easier to get onto the swells because the wind is doing most of the work for you. It's gone on a paddle, and now sitting on a Thursday, enjoying a coffee and just relaxing with a friend. And then back to the work day for him and the leisure days for me. Now Elisa is here, which means music night. Elisa plays the piano and I play the guitar, and she has a different style to me. Okay, good morning. It is 6 in the morning, and yeah, what does morning look like? I wake up and then I make coffee. Coffee is the main thing. I use an AeroPress, which you saw in the beginning of the video, and then I grind my own beans. Well, I grind the beans, they're not my own. I did purchase them. And then I sit with my book and fancy pen. So this is a bit of a relic from the architecture days. It's like a fountain pen. It's called a Lamy. Architects love them, but they are great to draw with. And then I do a journaling kind of thing. Nothing like planned, actually. I just start with a blank page and write down thoughts, and what I end up doing is just sort of doodling on stuff. I like that cloud indeed. Okay, what's happened here? Journaling hasn't been extensive this morning. I've just sort of written what I guess things I'm excited by. I continuing the music yesterday. I want to like produce it. I got to finish the podcast that I've been ignoring for way too long, and then I'm taking the wife to the airport, and then I'm doing yoga at 8:30, and I like doing yoga at 8:30 because it's like you hang out with the other people who can make it to yoga at 8:30, which is really just the retired folks, and it like slows down your day. You feel like you're like the energy of yoga itself, but then surrounding yourself by some retired people makes your day feel pretty slow, as opposed to like going in the evening with a normal schedule. And yeah, I think what I'm not sacrificing time. Sure, I'm like it disrupts the morning a bit. Like I would be less productive, but I find with productivity I'm only productive
for like a few hours of the day anyway, so I'm really focusing on limiting the amount of time I'm actually doing the work, and just making sure when I do it, I really focus on doing it well. Um, the thing I'm really avoiding is like that the time in front of computer where you just open and close tabs, as if like 3 hours of work is like you achieve like 20 minutes of stuff, which is just a waste of your time, and I don't know, your employer's time or whoever's time. So yeah, I think less about time as wasted, like yoga disrupting the morning, to more like, well, if I could put in a good hour after yoga, it'd be good. I think Carl Newport would call that deep work to some extent, like just make sure you're crushing it when you are working. And I guess that's the hack, yeah. So I definitely try not, well, clearly I don't work 8 hours a day, because when I was working, I was sitting at my desk for at least 8 hours a day, and I really think I would do like 2 hours of good work within those 8 hours, and that's just a silly thing. Oh yeah, okay, anyway, what's happening out there? That's looking nice and blue. Oh, what's the time now? It's early still, but I've got a lot of energy and excitement about the music we were making last night. So I've come to fiddle around with it. We've got piano takes down and vocal takes, so I'm just fiddling with the things, and I've added this cool beat into it, and then I was fiddling with some piano bits. The energy was in the music. It was like when you're feeling inspired, jump on that thing. And I always have this in the morning. Actually, I feel like super excited for the day. It's like my best times when I do the most, I think, or like the most useful stuff is before like 10 o'clock. That's it. So Jack Antonoff, he's a music producer, and he said like you get poisoned as the day goes on. Like you consume media and news and what, like, yeah, you start off in quite a positive, like excited for the day kind of space, and then the world it just closes in on you, and life stresses you out, and everything's falling apart. Yeah, so these morning moments are great. Like they're the best moments of the day, and I love, yeah, I'm a morning person. I just love it. Every morning I have a smoothie, and it's filled with these things. A mix of tasty things and frozen berries and bananas. Made by the lovely anonymous wife. I didn't record the yoga. I felt like I didn't want to get other people involved in my internet habits. Either way, but yeah, it's nice to come out here on a Wednesday morning and then just stay out here for a bit. So you know what I've never done is I see those videos on YouTube which are like, or Instagram, where they like show you the camera like this, and then they take a photo and then cut to a photo. I'm gonna do that. It's been a good week. There's been bits that I've really enjoyed about it. This idea of like freeing up your time, it's been more psychological, like the freedom to just go out in the middle of the day and do exercise or spend the morning painting or work on music. The sense of dropping this need for productivity genuinely feels really good. So that's, I'd say, like positive. If I can do more of these things, just like stuff that I sort of want to do, that's great. But at the back of my mind this week, it, like I have been ignoring like the sustainability of it, like the bigger questions, you know, how will I make money, essentially, is the main question. Like I'm living a retired life here, which can't go on forever. But I do think I really learned what I want
when I do start making money. I don't want a 9 to 5. I don't want to sit behind my computer doing Zoom calls or online calls. I don't want to have to deal with lots of emails. I want to have the freedom and flexibility to go out at 10 a.m. and paddle and meet a friend and gym and so I don't know what that means for a career, but I think it's pretty clear what it means for a lifestyle. This has been quite a fulfilling week to be moving slowly. Thank you. If you enjoyed it, subscribe as I figure out how to live, how to be a human. Okay, that's cool. Bye.